The summer heat is making everybody a little bit crazy, and not even Microsoft is immune. Cancellations, closures, and cuts. We'll talk about some of the studios and projects specifically being affected.
And an armistice of sorts is happening August 26th, bringing the console wars one step closer to being over. We're going to talk about all this stuff and a whole bunch more right now on Gaming News Weekly. What's up, everybody? It's time for another episode of Gaming News Weekly, the best weekly video game news show out there. Every single week, we're bringing you all the biggest news from the video game industry. You can find us on YouTube and podcast services everywhere. My name is E-Rock the Red, and as always, I'm joined by this man right here. Full clip. What is up, my dude?
How's it going, man? I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
Good. Just beating the heat, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Beating the heat, beating the meat. That's what my bumper sticker says.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I don't know what
I
it
like
means,
grilling,
though.
too.
Exactly. Yeah, so I've just been, like we were just talking about, so there was just the 4th here in the good old US of A, and, you know, a day for
Was the 4th
drinking
everywhere,
and
really?
blowing things up. That's a good point. That is a good point. Independence Day, we'll call it. We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. That's a different thing.
Plymouth Rock.
Welcome to Earth.
What is that, Malcolm X?
You ever see that movie with Will Smith
No.
where he's plays as Malcolm X and he fights aliens?
I have not.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Sounds pretty good.
Anyways, so yeah, we're just chilling out here. We're winding down. Just relaxing, beating the heat.
Oh, yeah.
You been doing anything fun?
Well, you know, gaming-wise, I guess it's kind of fitting for the heat in the summertime. I've been having a little bit of an island adventure, specifically a Hello Kitty island adventure.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Can I tell you something? My son is going to be so excited because he played it for 8 hours the other day. And it was funny, like earlier, right before we started, he was like, can I come down and talk to your friend after you're all done? And I think it was because he wanted to talk about Hello Kitty, but that's fun. You got all the critters, you got all the locations, but I know all about it, dude.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we're getting there. Because I'd never played it until the other day, just never put hands on it, but this is the way it always starts. My wife is playing these cozy games. Something's just a little too hard, or she's not being able to figure out some part of it, and I have to come over with the gamer brain and figure that out for her. And then it's, well, actually, This is kind of fun, and I need to know how this system works, and I need to know how that works, and here's a mystery.
Right.
How do we make this happen? And yeah, and then I just kind of get sucked into it, and then that's all I really want to do for a while. So looking forward to playing some more of that.
That's funny.
I'm glad that, like, you know, it started as a mobile game, but it was the Apple Arcade mobile game, so it's not really like a microtransaction, microcurrency kind of game. It's more so like an open play as long as you want type of game, but certain things are definitely like gated and locked until you've played so many days of the game. Those are kind of annoying, but it makes it interesting. It keeps you stretching it out just a little bit longer, I guess.
Right. Yeah. Because my son loves to speed run things, and he just wants to get to like the end, whether or not. So it was good that set it up. Like there was a thing he was trying to do recently, get to like City Town or whatever, and we had to look it up. Like that's me. I'm the guy. I'm that guy. He's like, can you give me a list of all the areas that have this?
Oh, yeah.
So like, and then it was like you had to wait one day in real life, like once you deliver this quest thing for it to like open up. So it does force you to kind of wait and not rush right through. So yeah, to your point, that is it's a good thing. So that's funny. I'm gonna that's what he's doing right now. He's obsessed. But yeah, he's got it on the Apple Arcade version, so he's playing on the iPad. But he does want it for the Switch. Do you know if there's any difference between the two?
I really don't know. I mean, I think at this point, everything that was on like seasonal unlocks and things like that was on the Apple Arcade version is on the Switch as just one package. I think the biggest difference is like the price tag, but I thought I saw it on
Right,
sale,
it's a
at
huge
least on
difference.
Steam. I don't know if it's on sale
It
on
was
Nintendo.
the Nintendo summer sale. They did have it. It was half off, but it's still $35. You know, so it's pretty crazy. But yeah, it's that's funny. I've also been playing a cozy game. Mine a little different though. It's a cozy shipping game where you kind of run a mini, Amazon basically. It's called Ship Inc. And you get these orders in or whatever. So you can choose to like sell from any number of like collections or whatever. And you get these little orders in and you got to fill the box with packing peanuts and then, fit everything into the box. If there's like hazardous things, you have to put a hazardous sticker on. If there's fragile things, you got to wrap it and put it. So it's all about doing things correctly. And there's different ways. You could do like a super cozy version where it's like, it doesn't matter how much time. There's like a middle of the road, and then there's one where it's like you're timed, so you want to get things done fast. So that's part of it. And then the other part of it is just management. So as you progress, you earn money, which you can then choose to sell more things in your shop. You can choose to, make things easier for you. So it's really just this store simulator type thing. But it's this top-down view of packaging stuff, and then you take the box, you put it on a truck. It's super cute and super simple, and it's a fantastic game. It is 100% scratching the itch of like that kind of, how I get into the simulator games, and this is like that where it's like you have the tasks that you need to do each time you just check them off, but there's no jank of it being like a realistic simulator. It's just like a real cozy simulator. So it's like. It runs perfectly, and it's fun, and I love it. And I just noticed, I think it's on sale right now for like $5. It just came out 2 weeks ago. I think it came out on the 23rd. And yeah, if you're looking for like a real simple, fun simulator game where you could just like pack, like kind of like, I mean, like unpacking. I always talked about how unpacking was. This is basically packing. So yeah, it's interesting. It's fun. And I don't know how much gameplay there will be here. I think I'm like 2.5 hours in. And it's still like, as you make money, you unlock stuff. So it's like, I'm still doing that, but the gameplay hasn't changed too much. So we'll see how long it keeps me going.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ship Inc. Check it out.
Any like automation that you can set up after you start unlocking things to, I don't know, put a label on there on its own or packaging peanuts or something?
I don't know. I think so. I think once you can start spending like big bucks, I think you can make it a lot faster, a lot easier. But I am not there yet. I'm still like just getting all the, like, cause you got to buy, like the one thing that annoys me though, is that like, it doesn't really like tell you what you're going to need. But then you have to have like these. So if you're selling something that's like radioactive or whatever, you need a sticker on the box that says that. I've come into one thing that's been radioactive, and it was before I bought the stickers. So I couldn't like leave to go buy the stickers, come back. So I had this radioactive product. I couldn't put a sticker on there. So they dinged me for that. And I went and then bought radioactive stickers. Haven't seen another radioactive thing since then in many, many times. So it's like, I don't really know what the rhyme or reason is with half this stuff, but it's cute. Enough about our cozy bullshit. Should we get into the show, the meat of the show, what everybody's here for?
Let's do it.
Our one new release. All right, let's talk about it. All right, the one big new release from this past week, Mecha Break, came out July 1st on PC and Xbox S and X. This is a free-to-play third-person shooter where you are controlling a mech, and you have different gameplay modes. So there's a 3v3 like deathmatch. There's a 6v6 kind of with objectives, and then there's a PvPvE mode as well. And there's a whole bunch of different mech types. There's support mech, sniper, tank, all that stuff. Basically, all your FPS kind of layouts. And I got a chance to play it, and I didn't play much. I played the tutorial, which was maybe like 20 minutes. It was a long tutorial mission. It was good. It was enjoyable. And then I played one online mission. Do you get a chance to check this out at all?
Not yet. I want to. It's not on PlayStation yet, right?
Mm-mm.
Coming soon, maybe?
I think so. I don't know. I was surprised to see that it is only on PC and Xbox currently. So I don't know what the deal is with that. But I will say this. So the game, it kicks you off with the story. A lot of cutscenes, big adventure. You create your character, which they lean very, very heavily into the the parts. There's a lot of boobs and butts in it. A lot of jiggle physics. And okay. My son was watching me play it, and he was like, "Why are their private parts so big?" This is what he said. He's like, "It freaks me out." So you have that. That's a plus for a lot of people. But a lot of times it seemed a little dated. It seemed a little like, I don't know, PS4-y, and not just the graphics. Some of the choices they made as far as the abilities, weapons, there's so much going on too, where I think maybe part of it is that I just need to figure it out, because you have different weapons that you could change to, and none of the buttons really seem to make sense to me as I'm playing it. One button, it's is your sword attack, but then if you hit this L2, it switches, and then it goes to a missile attack. So I'm trying to get that figured out, because it's switching. And then you could have a different weapon layout where you press down on the D-pad and a button, and it switches to that different layout. So it's just, there's so much happening. I gotta figure it out. But I will say that I had fun. I had fun playing it. It's a good mech game. It's fast. You feel powerful as you're doing it. I don't even know if I really killed anybody in my one multiplayer match. I damaged them. I don't know if I got any kills, but because you can't tell, I'm I don't know what the fuck is happening. So much is going on that I don't know where I'm getting shot at, whatever. But this is the first ever mech game like this that I've ever played multiplayer. We've all played the Titanfall, but that's a little different. So yeah, I think you will like it. I'm excited to hear what you have to say about it when you finally can get in there and check it out.
All right, yeah. So I'm hoping that it comes to PlayStation pretty soon. I'm seeing things that maybe it was leaked coming to the PlayStation Store pretty soon. This is one that I'd like to try out, because I'm sure it's very controller forward when you're talking about the complex kind of controller scheme. I don't know how that's going to play with keyboard and mouse, and it being a third-person shooter. So I'll probably hold off on it until then, unless everybody's still talking about it in a couple weeks, and I just have to get it on PC.
I'd prefer to play it on PlayStation as well. So it does say, I just looked it up, it just says later in 2025. So
gotcha.
Whatever that means.
Yeah. And, I think it's kind of mixed reviews, because I'm seeing on Steam it's a 6 out of 10. The Google reviews are 79%. I do see the number one audience review from the Google reviews gives it a 1 out of 5 stars and says, "The reputation system can be used to exploit players, and capping gains only hinders the system more. The more you play, the more you expose yourself to being reported." So I don't know if they've got a fatal flaw there.
Sure. I know on the Steam reviews, people are complaining about microtransactions and pay to win, which I just explored the menu systems briefly when I got in there, and I didn't get that idea. There's a lot of customization you could do for free. There's a lot of things you could add for free. I don't know what type of pay to win type situations they're talking about. That wasn't I didn't get that feeling from it though, so I don't know. But yeah, most of the negative reviews on Steam were for that. So yeah, we'll see. I don't know, but yeah, I'm gonna try it again. I'm gonna do the deathmatch mode, the 3v3. I think it'll be a little bit more cut and dry instead of me trying to figure out the objective and then all this other shit. So, all right, that is it for our new release from this week. Let's get into our news of the week. All right, our top story this week, and it is not a repeat of last week. It is a whole new thing. It's just unfortunate that we keep talking about the same topic, and that topic being layoffs. Last week we talked about a bunch. We did briefly mention this upcoming layoff wave coming to Microsoft, and it did hit this week, and it is it's bigger, I would say, than anybody really expected. So 4% of the total employees at Microsoft have been laid off, which is insane because that's about just over 9,000 employees, and it's from all different parts of it. One of the major parts that got hit the worst was from King. I don't know numbers specifically, but everything I heard was that they got hit hard. Candy Crush ain't doing it no more, I guess. You know, they got to come out with Candy Crush 2, the crushioning. That's a great idea, dude. They can bring so many people back. So yeah, they were the big ones. And then throughout the, other aspects of Microsoft gaming and other parts of it as well, Phil Spencer did put out a memo, an internal memo to the staff. I'm not going to read it because it's like, this was out of all of them that we've seen in the past recent. This one is like the most bullshit, like buzzwordy, like we're setting ourselves up for better opportunities to do this. This is strategy. And it was just all jargon. I mean, this is the fourth layoffs to hit Microsoft in 18 months. And each one, not like a small amount. Each one, I think the last one was 4% of their staff. And now this one was 4%. I think the last one was maybe like 3%. I don't know. It was a smaller amount, but still it was a big number, man. So it is, it's pretty crazy. What are your thoughts on this whole thing?
It's more of the same. I really have nothing to add at this point because what can you say? I mean,
what can you say?
We knew about it about a week ago. And here it is.
Here it is.
That's what it feels like these days.
It sucks, man. Doesn't it feel like we're just talking about the same stuff every week?
And over and over. Yeah, I dreaded I dreaded doing the intro to this show, just talking about more layoffs, cuts, cancellations, and it's the same story every week, and we say the same things over and over again. Like, do these companies, why don't they just put the game out? Like, get it to the finish line, put the game out, and then maybe you have some money to not lay everybody off and cancel all your projects.
Yeah.
Microsoft has it.
Right. I mean, there's even in Phil Spencer's memo, he mentions, like, why is this happening when this is like a banner year for them as far as the gaming thing? So this is all still coming from that huge price that they paid for their merger and stuff like that. It's dumb. But yeah, it really does, like, I don't want to talk about this every week, but it's like we have to, All right, so let's get into it. Like I said, King was one of the big ones that got affected. Another studio, The Initiative, they were shuttered completely. They were the ones that were working on the Perfect Dark reboot, which we saw the first trailer, I don't know, a few years ago now. And it looked great. Everybody was really excited for that one. I know this is one that hurt a lot of people. And then Rare, they lost a lot of staff in their game. Everwild, very long anticipated. I think this game was shown off, I don't know, close to 10 years ago now, and it has been just kind of kicking around there. Troubled. You could say that for these games that, like, people say that Perfect Dark, they had a lot of problems with that one, getting that going. And Same with Everwild. So it's not a big shock for these. Like, they've been in development for so many years with no product to show for it. ZeniMax Online, we're working on a brand new MMORPG. This was Project Blackbird was what they were calling it. And then Romero Games, they were working on an unannounced first-person shooter. That whole studio, it looks like, has been closed as well. And then Turn 10, they were the developers of Forza Motorsports. They got hit pretty hard, and now they are just going to be focusing on supporting Forza Horizon. And then some layoffs over at Raven, the people behind Call of Duty Black Ops 7. So, yeah, man, it was pretty far-reaching. A lot of people, and just like the feeling, I guess, like these memos came out and the news grabbed onto it before really everybody knew, like people that were in the shit there before they knew. So like you kept hearing about people like just being scared and exhausted and like just not knowing what the future held for them. Yeah, man, you say it every week we talk about this. It's like you would never want to work in this business because it's just, I don't know.
Yeah, and it's easy to criticize from the outside, but sometimes they make it really easy. Who the fuck wants a AAA Perfect Dark reboot? I mean, it's a Nintendo 64 game. I'm sure that there's a small base of people who want to see a reboot of that, but why would you put AAA money into that? Some of these moves are just stupid. And then some things are a shame. So it sucks all around. But I do wish they would just try to, maybe scale back a little bit, push some of these things to the finish line, deliver a game, let people have their jobs and continue to work and have some, just a little bit of safety in life, I guess. Yeah, that's the reason I would never want to work in this industry, is because you never know what's coming around, even if you work for the biggest players in the game.
Yeah, and it's because, so like, that's a great point. Just like scale back, let these people put out a product. But like, as a large business, as a large corporation, there's so much money in tax breaks and like, not finishing products and doing it this way where they're just gutting studios and stuff like that, because they're getting something out of it. We're not getting anything out of it. The people that worked on these projects for years and years and years, they're not getting anything out of it. So it sucks, man. But yeah, as like a large multi-billion-dollar studio, there's reasons for it, and it's especially the way they do it this time, right before the fiscal year ends. Like there's, they're saving tons of money through some sort of tax break by doing it this time. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't think I'll ever really understand it, but I'll talk about it and pretend I do. So like overall, this seems like maybe it's a necessary evil that has to happen, because maybe the AAA, let alone quadruple A gaming industry just is not sustainable, because we're talking about so many projects that just come out and flop the next day because nobody wants to pay, $70 for this game that they put billions into. It works for Rockstar. It works for Grand Theft Auto because they're making the blockbuster game of the decade each time they make a game. It works for them. It doesn't work for your annual release of Assassin's Creed anymore. That's just not the gaming landscape. There's too much out there to play. Right.
So maybe this is something that just has to happen. The big developers have to figure that out. They have to start scaling some of these projects back, maybe scaling the price back on them too, because if they're going to go back to like AA kind of releases on some of these games, we don't need to be paying $70, $80, $100.
Absolutely. I think you're right. I think we need to figure this out somewhere. Not you and I. We don't need to figure it out, but the gaming community as a whole needs to figure out what the hell they're doing to kind of not have this keep happening. Some good news for Xbox, though. Helldivers 2 is coming to Xbox Series S and X this is one of those hell froze over moments where we never would have expected a Sony PlayStation exclusive to get over to the Xbox. But it's interesting because it's happening the same day that Gears of War Reloaded is coming to the PlayStation. So you got both these first party military games kind of just switching teams for the time, and it's pretty cool. It's nice to see. I'm super excited to play Gears of War because I've always been a Sony fanboy, and I'm super excited for Helldivers fans to have a boost in the player count because this will be a cross-platform
Nice.
right off the start. So that it's great. It's exciting for fans of both games. So yeah, it's nice, dude. The world is healing.
Yeah.
Or it's getting weirder. But yeah, I'm just really excited to see it happen. No Game Pass though. The developers did say that Helldivers, you'll never catch it on Game Pass. So you can only buy it. Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. If you've got a really successful game, you don't need to just take the lump sum up front.
Yeah. Yeah. Sony doesn't. They don't do that. That's what they even came out recently and said, they're not putting their first party games on Game Pass day one either. They're absolutely not going to happen. Whereas Xbox is who wants free games? It's just crazy. But yeah, it's exciting. All right, next up, Anthem, the video game that I never played it. Came out in 2019, 2020, but it's finally being shut down as of January 12th, 2026. It will no longer be playable. It's an online-only game. Servers are shutting down. It will not be playable after that. So I think I was honestly surprised. I had to look to see when it started. I was surprised it was as long ago as it was 2019.
So maybe early access or something? Yeah, maybe. That's what I thought.
Doesn't it feel like it's not as old as it seems?
Yeah, so. Then again, this is one of those games where I've just always heard about it, never paid a bit of attention to it.
Yeah. I think I played the beta, and that was it. That was as far as I got on it. But I just wanted to reference that to kind of, segue into our next topic here. The Stop Killing Games initiative. We talked about it last week, trying to get developers to, stop doing this, what they're doing with Anthem, creating a game that people have played for, put money into, going to be completely removed from stores and is completely unplayable if you own it. That thing, Stop Killing Games, it reached the goal. It needed 1 million names on the petition before a certain time, and it got there. It got 1 million SIGs on there, and there was another part of it that also reached its goal. So what that means is that it will now go before some sort of legislation with the European Union for them to review it and create some sort of, standards or laws for game developers so that this, does not continue to happen. That they create these games, people pay money. Sometimes if they're buying in-game things, sometimes people are spending hundreds, thousands of dollars in something that then is completely unplayable at a certain point. Now, there's no specifics about anything. This is just to get them to look at it, to address the situation. Now, what that means for anything, I don't know how long it takes. I don't know, the reach that it has. This is only for the, over in the EU, but it's a step in the right direction, right?
Yeah, I mean, you would think that if a game company is going to have to consider that for the EU, that it would be sort of the same thing in the American market and other markets around the world. Legal precedent, I'm sure, doesn't really work this way, that we just point to European law and say we should do that too. But it is if it's working in the EU and it can be brought up in front of the United States Congress, maybe we'll benefit from it as well.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that, as game development goes, if you're going to be doing, you're not going to split your consumer base. So like if you're forced to do something over in Europe, like it's going to, you're not just going to shut down part of the game over here or whatever. So I think it will have larger ramifications throughout the gaming community. So yeah, man, it's exciting, which I mean, a lot of people thought that this initiative was dead. It had a rough go. And in the 11th hour, it got there. It was literally like it needed 400,000 signatures in the last 2-3 days, and it got there.
Yeah.
So
I think I even said it last episode. I didn't think it was gonna hit the 1 million mark. It was just getting like the momentum was not there, even though more and more people were talking about it. And there's still, I got so many videos I need to catch up on YouTube of like Linus Tech Tips and all of them talking about it this past week. And see what happened when I was busy.
Yeah, and I think I honestly will give the full credit to you for bringing it up on this show. I think that's what put it over the edge. You got those.
Yeah.
We
have tens of followers.
Hell yeah, dude. Got us.
A couple
there.
of them might even be in the EU. Shout out Wood Pigeon.
Exactly. So yeah, very cool. Hopefully something good comes of that. And, we won't have any more situations like Anthem. All right, next up, a new month. That means new Humble Choice subscription. We got to talk about this because one of the things, so not only does this bring new games, but a new price point. So where it used to be $11.99 a month to get a great selection of PC games, now it's $15 a month, I believe. So yeah, it's it's only a couple bucks, and usually it's still a great value, but it does make you think a little bit more now whether the value is there, whether the the juice is worth the squeeze. Is that the saying? I think
sounds like that works.
Nailed it. All right.
Yeah.
The games, though. This is what people want to hear about. You got something to say before we get into the games? You sounded like you did.
just saying that. I noticed last week. Usually, when you go to cancel for the month, they try to. Are you sure you don't want it if it was $1 less? But I noticed they didn't do that last month, and I don't know if that was part of this rolling over into the higher price point.
I was thinking the same thing because I did not choose the. I did cancel. I did skip this month, and yeah, they weren't like, "Are you sure?" They were just like, "Fine." So, anyways, Warhammer 40K Rogue Trader, Cat Quest 3, Death's Door, Daemon X Machina, Wizard with a Gun, Neo Cab, Ever After Falls, and Blanc. These are the games being featured on this month's choice. It's funny, too, because I'll go into the Game Bundles subreddit, and you'll see people, like, half the people saying, like, what an amazing month. I've had, like, 6 of these on my wish list. To other people, like, fastest skip ever. Like, worst games I've ever seen. For me, it was, I had no desire. I think the only game that I really want is Wizard with a Gun, and I'm going to try to trade for that one because that is on my wish list. But again, it's only like, I think it's like $2 or $3 right now on Steam for the summer sale to go buy it, So if I want that one, I could. But like the big game this month is the Warhammer Rogue Trader, and that is like a CRPG, kind of like a Baldur's Gate style thing, except with Warhammer characters, and it looks good. It's just not something I'm in the market for right now. So yeah. You were a skip on this one too?
Oh, I haven't yet. I haven't officially. I mean, I had the opportunity, but I decided let's talk about it on the show first, and let's maybe I'll feel it out as we're talking about these and looking a little deeper into them, because there are 4 or 5 games on here I could really see myself playing, and the only problem is time. But like Cat Quest, I played Cat Quest 2 a little bit, but it was so long ago that I don't really remember much about it. But Cat Quest 3, I mean, I wouldn't mind having that in my back catalog. Rogue Trader, of course. Death's Door looks interesting. Daemon X Machina looks good. Ever After Falls. You never know. It's a little
Mhm.
rinse and repeat with the cozy games, but it could be fun.
Sure.
Haven't looked into NeoCab. Haven't really looked into Wizard with a Gun yet. And then Blanc, it has a visual style that looks pretty interesting to me. So I haven't officially made that decision, and maybe we'll see what happens when I try to cancel and see if they try to give me like $1 or $2 off.
Yeah, I think it's worth it because I think the only thing Death's Door is one that I've always wanted to, but I've in my like researching of it, I've heard that it is a very difficult game, and I was like, I don't want a difficult game right now. I want something that I can get through without
packing
like
simulator.
wanting to throw things. Yes. So, which NeoCab is supposed to just be, it's just a visual novel type thing where you're driving a cab. So that sounds good too to offset it. But yeah, I have such a backlog of games I'm playing right now that it was an easy skip for me. But I do really look forward to these games coming out every month. So let me know what you end up deciding. If you do get it, I'll buy Wizard with a Gun off you.
All right.
All right. And the last thing for us today, the last of us, this show has lost some big parts of the series. Did you finish season 2?
Not yet. I'm like halfway through.
Okay. Great season. A lot of people were upset, some changes, that sort of thing. But come to find out now that 2 of the main writers, Neil Druckmann and Haley Gross, have left the series. Now, they were both co-writers of the game, The Last of Us Part 2. So they were big involved in this season, and both decided that they are leaving the show before season 3 gets started. So this is it has potential to really change things up because this is their vision, this is their story. They created the game, so it'll be interesting to see kind of where it goes from there. Kind of like with you think about Game of Thrones, where they were following the path that George R. R. Martin led, and then as soon as his hand was removed from it, it went off the rails. So we'll see. Hopefully this won't be the case where once the creators leave, now the show turns to shit. But we'll see. I did want to briefly mention this though because of Neil Druckmann. He announced it and he said, I made the difficult decision to step away from my creative involvement in The Last of Us on HBO with work completed on season 2 and before any meaningful work starts on season 3. Now is the right time for me to transition my complete focus to Naughty Dog and its future projects, including writing and directing our exciting next game, Intergalactic, The Heretic Prophet, along with my responsibilities as studio head and head of creative. So that's exciting for me. Get Neil back focused on what matters, and that's the games, baby. I'm super excited for Intergalactic. I'm very excited to see what Mr. Druckmann is going to be doing, and he's always a key role in any of these games that they're making. So good stuff.
Yeah. So I mean, I kind of wonder as the TV show starts to leapfrog the games by a season or 2. Maybe even 3, because it's going to take a while if they're even working on another Last of Us. Does that kind of kill the series because you've already seen the story, or the story's just different and it's kind of like, what's the point of watching one or playing the other?
Yeah, I don't know. Without any like spoilers, I think there's still game elements going to be in season 3. But yeah, I don't know what they do after that. I know it's kind of like it's the same thing I always think. Like if there's like either a book or a game that I'm familiar with and then they create a movie or something, it's like, do I want to say I haven't seen or played or read either of them? I always have the hard time figuring out, do I watch the movie first? Do I read the book first? Like, what is more enjoyable? What do you want to create that picture? Because the first impression is what's going to last, So now you got people that have played or watched the show first, and now, like, these are their characters. These are the people that they choose, and then you go and you play the game or whatever. And it's completely different. Not completely different, but, different actors and way that they're portrayed. So yeah, it's who knows, dude. Just live your lives.
That's interesting, and yeah, especially when you have the trifecta. I kind of liked playing Halo, for instance, because that gave me like a visual representation in my head of voices and sounds and looks and appearances of things, and then reading the some of the Halo books in the series. That's kind of cool. Then they make a TV show and fuck it all up.
Yeah, see, I watched the show first, so I knew what Master Chief looked like, and then I just
when he wasn't hanging dong in the video games
the whole time. Yeah, that's what I pictured that the whole time I was playing the game. It's like, where's that weapon? It wasn't available. It was you had to pay for that, I think. So yeah, but the takeaway on this. Neil Druckmann, back at home where he belongs, making sweet, sweet video games. Yeah. All right. I got nothing else. You got anything else?
Did you see anything big in this Steam Summer Sale?
No, nothing. So there are a couple. You know how they have like the super deals where they're like 90% off or whatever, where the games are like $1.50 or whatever. There were a few of there that I don't own, like Gris, I think. Is that how you say it? GRIS. It's like $1.49, and I'm like, should I just get that just because? Like, I don't know. Yeah. Borderlands 3, $2.99. Jurassic World Evolution 2, $2.99. Like, these are the ones I'm like, should I just get these? Like, because they're so cheap? But I don't know. But there's nothing that is really like jumping out at me. I have a few things on my wish list. But
I tend to already have a lot of those ones that are deeply discounted because they have a lot of crossover with the games that were free through Epic. So they're already in the back catalog, and before I buy anything, I need to go over there and check whether I already have it or not. But then everything else I'd be interested in is not marked down all that much. It's still like, $45 or something, and I'm just not really up for a purchase like that right now.
Yeah, that's kind of how I'm like, I'm really at a point where, so I went back through when I was looking at this month's Humble Choice. There were a couple months where I forgot to cancel and I got the game. So I went through and I redeemed codes for 2, maybe 3 bundles, and then another Fanatical bundle that I bought and I never redeemed codes for. And then all of a sudden, like, I'm freaking out because my Steam library, I have like 40 new games in it that I'm like, I should really play these before anything else. So that's kind of where I'm at. But yeah, nothing for me there. Before we go though, I do want to quickly ask you, have you been playing Black Ops at all?
No, I haven't touched that in a few months.
Okay. I saw they were getting like Gundam or something.
I think they had that for a little bit. I saw they were getting Beavis and Butthead.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so maybe that's like I saw, or maybe they got new Gundam. It was a Reddit post that I saw that there was like maybe new ones added. But yeah, that was the next thing I was going to ask you about. Did you see the Beavis and Butthead stuff, dude?
Yeah.
Like it's so crazy. Like the finishers, you just like Cornholio just comes up and kicks you in the balls.
It's getting a little strange over there. They're definitely like, they do not care to be Fortnite-ified.
Yeah, no, I saw this amazing like screenshot. It was like the alien from American Dad and like Beavis and Butthead, and like it was just like, it was so ridiculous. But yeah, they're living their best lives over there.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to be a part of it.
Yeah, no, I'll tell you what though, the Beavis and Butthead, I'm like, maybe I need to re-download it. Maybe this is where I get in there and I run around just saying dumb shit as Beavis and Butthead. So, probably not, though. All right. That is it for us. Thank you so much for checking out this episode. Make sure you head up YouTube, go over to Pop Culture Playground, that's where this show is. Make sure you subscribe there. Or the podcast version is available anywhere podcast is found. Just type in GNW and you will get podcast. That's how it works. You get podcast. That's you get podcast. This is my AI. This is my impression of AI. You get podcast. See, this is where like we're leaving wondering, like, is he having a stroke? Why is he saying you get podcast over and over again? And I may be having a stroke, but we won't know until next week. So you got to tune in again to find out if I did just have a stroke while I was yelling, you get podcast. I wrote it just now 3 times. You get podcast.
I'm a little
I don't
concerned.
know why this is happening. I'm freaking out a little bit. I think I've been possessed. Anyways, hey, go check us out on TikTok. And that's all I got. You ready to get out of here?
Yeah, I can't follow that.
Just, you know what to say. It's
Okay.
3 words.
Have a good weekend. You get podcast.
Nope. There it is. You get podcast. All right. Bye-bye.